Hello, happy Wednesday, everybody. It is Michelle with Moksha Grace Coaching, and today we are here for a moment of presence. So, thank you for joining me. Uh, you know, there's a lot of stuff happening out in the world. There's a lot of myths and stories being told, some not truths, we'll say untruths. Uh, And, the question today is really, how do you find your way through the maze of life? And how can you tell what's real, what's authentic, and what direction is the best for you? So, we're here to ask the question, what gifts do we have, do we bring to the table that we could potentially use to help us navigate the maze of life, the craziness? So, for those of you who don't know me and are new to the moment of presence, I'm Michelle with Moksha Grace Coaching, and we meet every Wednesday for a moment of presence. And let's take that moment now to bring us into this moment, into being here. So turn off your phones if you haven't already. If you're driving, don't close your eyes, but we're going to take a couple deep breaths just to kind of center us and bring us into this moment. So if you will, big deep breath in, hold it, big exhale. Nice. Now let's do it one more time. Big deep breath in, hold it, and release. Special shout out to Kathy. Hi, Kathy from Buffalo. I hope you have better weather than we do down here in Florida. We're actually getting a little chilly today. So, if you're new to me, I am a life coach that specializes in emotional alchemy to inspire change. What does that mean? I help people look in the mirror and see themselves, the real them, the real you, without the sadness, the failure, the beating yourself up, not doing enough. Oh my goodness, there's so much to do. Without all of that, being able to look in the mirror and just be grateful and see yourself in love. And I also help people move through different emotions, challenging emotions like guilt, uh, about not doing enough or not being enough, fear. Oh my gosh, is today the day that I'm going to get fired? Is today the day that I'm going to have a big fight with, my loved ones? Really helping you understand how to be confident. And it allows you to take control of your emotions, which then allows you to have more control of your life. Now, that doesn't mean that you can control the outside world. That's the whole reason we're here, is that the world's crazy. The world is crazy and it's chaotic. And oh my goodness, how do we stay calm and neutral so that we can live our best life? Really, I want to help you cherish every moment. And that's why I call this the moment of presence, because I want to help you get a taste of what being in the moment is actually about. And it's not about thinking about the past. It's not about thinking about the future. How many times have you been, having dinner with your family and you sit there and you start thinking and pondering all your to-do list? Okay, so I got to get this at the grocery store and I got to go do this errand and I got to do this and I got to do that. That's not being in the moment. It's not. It's not. You're missing stuff. You're missing what other people are trying to tell you. And then there's the being so consumed with what's going on in the world that you allow the world to affect you and your emotions. And so we feel sad and we feel worried. And we're going to dive into this because there's some really simple things that you can do to start shifting your perspective on all of this. So that's what internal emotional harmony is really about. Okay. So the good news is that you're magical. We're all magical. And we don't know what's going to happen in the world next, but we can decide what's going to happen with us next, to a point. Hang in there with me. So let's play a game. The game is Have You Ever? And we're not going to take score. You're going to take your own score. Have you ever just known something? You don't know how you know it, but you just do. You just know it. Give yourself a point. Have you ever missed something driving and decided to take a different route and then found out that there was actually an accident the way that you were supposed to go originally? Didn't show up and there was maybe a really bad event, but you weren't there and you weren't caught up in it because you just listened to your gut, some intuition, some gut feeling that you had. And so you were able to take a detour, which then had a better outcome for you. Give yourself 2 points. Have you ever called someone out of the blue and they were like, oh my gosh, I was just thinking of you, or I really needed to talk with you today. I'm so glad you called me. I think that one deserves 5 points. Now here's the big one. This is a big 10 pointer. Have you ever wanted something so badly? You thought about it, you dreamed about it, and then it just happened? It became a reality? You're magical. And we have these capabilities within ourselves. We have everything that we need in ourselves. And this is one of my biggest beliefs, that everything we need to feel loved, to find success, to be happy is all within ourselves and in control. Now, does that mean that we're going to be perfect all the time? No, not at all. Hey, Keith. Thanks for being here, you guys. 2 Ks today. Interesting. The thing is that not everybody accesses these gifts that we've been given. It's like being given a Maserati, a manual, a stick shift, but no one teaching you how to use it. And so you're driving it, 10 miles an hour really slow because you don't know how to go real fast and you're not sure how to control that souped up car. Let me ask you this. Is your mood, your day, dictated by outside circumstances or by internal circumstances? Because that's a key on whether you're allowing the outside world to control you or if you're able to control your world. And what has the last 3 years been like for you? Has it been crazy and chaotic and the worst 3 years of your entire life and it's just been horrific? Yes, we've had a lot of loss. Yes, it's been crazy. But in your day-to-day, when you wake up in the morning, are you able to remove yourself, disassociate with everything that's going on in the world and just look at your world and say, things are going pretty good for me. And I want to show up into the world so that I can impact the world. Because every small way you impact the world, each of us, means that there's going to be a massive amount of good feeling, good energy out there. Are you the glass is half empty or the glass is half full person? That's another indication of how you're allowing the world to affect you, because a lot of this is built on old beliefs, the way that we grew up. So tapping into your internal world to get what you want. This is fun, and it can also be confusing and challenging at times. Once you get it, you're able to move through your life the way you want to. Now, it's a bit of a mess at first. Think of your garage when you haven't taken any time to organize it. You just keep putting stuff out there, or your closet, or some people's house after a whole weekend where you haven't really been home because you've been so busy with all different kinds of things, and you come home and you look around and you go, oh my gosh, this is a mess. It's kind of like that at first. And then the emotions and the beliefs, where you are and where you want to go. Think of it as a hallway, and there's a bunch of doors, and everything you want is behind the doors. But there's a lock, an emotional lock that you got to figure out how to open first in order for you to get to the other side of the door. So, how do you do that? Well, self-care and getting to know yourself, taking time for yourself, which I used to believe a long time ago when my kids were small. Oh my gosh, I don't have time for that. That's like self-care. Who has time for self-care? I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm working. I don't have time for all of that. But here's the secret. You have to make time, because how you show up into all of those other situations is either going to make it better for you and for everyone else, or it's going to make it worse. When you're in a good mood, everybody else around you is going to feel it. They may not join you in that good mood, and that's okay, but you're not adding to their bad mood. And if you are, it doesn't matter. It's how you show up and how you're feeling. So things like meditation, yoga, tai chi, walking outside in nature and just looking around, hugging or touching a tree, looking up at the clouds passing by, being in the moment, not thinking about the past. Oh my gosh, we're going to do it again. It's going to happen. I know it. It's a pattern. And not worrying about the future. How am I ever going to make that work? But being in this moment right here, right now. That is as simple as it gets. Now, here's some other things that maybe you haven't explored yet. And so I'm just going to throw it out there. Now, these are the things that I follow, the beliefs, the things that I learn about, I educate myself on. And if it doesn't resonate with you, that's cool. It's fine. Don't worry about it. If it does, and you want to learn more, then you're in the right place. So let's talk about universal laws and the gifts that we have, the power that we have if we understand the universal laws. And we're not going to go through all of them right now. Right now, I want to focus on the law of attraction, which most people have heard of because of The Secret, Abraham Hicks, all different kinds of situations, right? Law of attraction. What in the world does that mean? And I've been doing a lot of research because, it can get a little dicey when you think about religion and spirituality and how does the law of attraction fit in? And oh my gosh, does it go against everything that I've learned? No. When you think about it, what is one of the commandments? Treat thy neighbor as you treat yourself, right? So law of attraction depends on this part of it depends on your mood. It's the energy you bring into a situation, and it's keeping your energy at a certain point. And this is my interpretation. And I'm trying to make it as very simple and more like a beginner's mind here. So depending on your mood, you're going to put out a certain energy. And you know this if you've ever dealt with customer service. You have a customer walk in and you can feel the heat coming off of them. They're so angry. And on the other hand, maybe you're in a situation and you see somebody breezing by. Yes, I said breezing. They're just walking and they just look so carefree. Like they don't have a care in the world and they're just calm and graceful. You can sense that energy. Guess what? That doesn't come from outside. That comes from inside. That's a gift that you've been given to be able to feel that. But we're so mucked up, and I said muck like mud. We're so mucked up that sometimes we can't let that energy through. We can't feel it. We can't see it or sense it. So, how you show up to any situation, your energy is going to actually, a lot of times, come before you. There's like a shift in the universe, and you feel it. You're like, oh, something's different. Something's changing. Oh, I see who's walking in the room. So you can sense it. Now, the second one that I want to talk about today and just kind of introduce you to is the universal law of vibration. Again, another popular one. This is your energy, the vibration that your energy gives off. And it's either going to be a high energy, middle of the road energy, it's going to be a really low energy. Now, everybody knows that low energy. You're upset, you're tired, maybe you're ticked off, you don't really want to talk to anybody, and that's a low energy. And you can move yourself up the frequencies. Think of it as Abraham Hicks says a lot. She'll use this as an analogy. Think of it as a radio tuner, and you want to go to 100.7, but you're at 100.5. It's not going to come in very clear. It's the same thing with the universal law of vibration. Everything you want has a vibration too. And this is as simple as the world gets. If you want something, maybe it's vibrating at a very high energy. If you're not vibrating at a high energy, you're not going to get it. If you are in a low energy, you're going to get low energy stuff. So going back to the last 3 years, I've been able to hone in on myself and really take that time for myself because we had so much extra time on our hands. I turn the TV off. I don't watch TV at all. I don't watch the news. If something's big enough that I need to know about it, it'll be on social media. And because of that, I've been able to protect myself, my energy, from what's going on in the world. Yes, I keep up with enough to know little bits and pieces. But by practicing in this way, I've also learned how to separate and disassociate myself with what is happening in the world so it does not affect my energy. You know what affects my energy more? Family, friends, situations, sometimes in business. If you come into a situation and someone has a lower energy, sometimes it's hard to disassociate yourself from someone you love. And so that one takes practice. It's actually easier with the world, crazy as it sounds. So just remember that with the law of vibration, because if what you want is at a high vibration, it's something really cool, really awesome, a new job, a promotion, a new relationship, your relationship to improve. We have to start within ourselves first. And how many times have you heard in the old days, people would say, if you don't love yourself first, how are you going to expect anyone to love you? Similar, when you bring it down to the level of vibration, it's just about the law of vibration. Universal law of cause and effect. Everything you do has consequences. How many times have we heard that when we were kids? And so those consequences can either be good or not so good. And what's the better standard of practice would be to think about it before you do it. And this goes into, are you responding or are you reacting to situations? Because if you're reacting, you're not taking the time to consider what the effect is going to be or what the cause is going to be from your effect. So taking those minutes and learning how to take a step back, how to take a breath, count to 5, and then respond after you've had a moment. And it gets quicker the more you learn and the more you practice it. So the last one I want to talk about today is universal law of inspired action. So this is, we can have our energy right. We can be at the highest vibration. We can have, we will have thought about what we want, how to get it. If I do this, and then I should be able to get this in return. We can think about it all day long. We can practice and be at that high vibration. But if you're just standing there and watching life pass you by, if you're not going after what you really want, if you're not taking inspired action, you can't just wish it into fruition. It's not going to work. You actually have to do something. And I have talked to so many clients in the past 3 years that have said, and I mean this with no disrespect, I prayed for it. That's good. That's great. That's cause and effect. That's raising your vibration. That's good energy. But waiting for someone else to give it to you and not being able to take a step in the right direction, you gotta meet God halfway if that's your belief. You gotta meet God halfway. It's not just gonna be, delivered to you as a gift or from Amazon or UPS. You gotta take some action if that's what you want. So these are all so much fun. And when you dive into the rest of them, there's some people think there's 7, some people believe there's 12. I think a lot of them are all mixed together when you really dive in and you really look at it. The bottom line is that we're all connected, each and every one of us. So if you can get your energy up and you can impact the energy of the people around you, then one by one, little by little, we are going to be able to make an impact. And you're going to be able to make an impact on your life, your family's life, the holidays coming up. It's just about learning how to be in alignment with all of the laws, with you internally, because again, everything is inside of you that you need. Now, if you're ready to learn more, I want you to book your discovery call. It's a 45-minute conversation with me. We go over what's going on right now for you and what the struggles are. And then how can we get you moving forward? So book that call. The other option, it's a little bit of a trial. If you've never had a coach before or you've never done this kind of work before and you just want to taste, starting on Tuesday, a week from yesterday, Tuesday, on the 25th, 26th, and 27th, I am hosting a 3-day introductory Calm the Chaos, the Path to Your Emotional Freedom, because this is all about you. And we're going to dive into a lot of this. And if you want to learn more about that, then go over to mokshagrace.com/workshop. And you can register. It's going to be at 6 o'clock Eastern. We changed that so that way it's later in the evening. But we're going to dive into a lot of these topics, and we're going to talk about how you can apply them to your life to get the outcomes that you want. So this isn't a, beginning and then there's an end, a finish line. This is a journey that people are on. And it all depends on what level, but every level you're going to learn something new, something that you haven't heard before, because at that point you weren't ready for it. Your vibe wasn't at that level, but now it's at a different level. And so you're going to hear something different. Something is going to resonate with you differently. So you can never do too much of this kind of work. And it's all about yourself. I was reading an article about we use our brains, only 10% of our brains. And then there's, other studies that say, oh, no, that's not true. Whatever you believe, if you're not tapping into your brain and your heart and they're not in coherence, they're not aligned, and you're not putting yourself out there, putting yourself first, so you put yourself out there to help other people, to impact other people, then we've got some doors to unlock. So I want to thank you for being here. Thank yourself for being here and giving yourself this moment. And remember, every day can be either the best day or not a great day. It's all up to you. It's your choice. So choose wisely. And I look forward to seeing you next Wednesday at 12:30 Eastern for a moment of presence. Thanks.